Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready concepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all the archon, pushing the truth and believing the truth, throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the outwalk who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp, coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another daily edification, Lord willing. Let's be edifying. Another Saturday edification. I titled this lesson, well, I don't know what the title is, but you have been warned. I'm gonna title this lesson, You Have Been Warned. Start with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Start with our apostles of Great Millstone. You have been warned. The Lord willing, to be edifying. This is for educational purposes only. This is not for monetary gain. I did not own the copyright to these videos. This is for educational purposes only. The Lord willing, to be edifying.
Embrace the possibilities of tomorrow. We must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and I have them, and you have them, and we all have them. And they want to see us do badly, but we don't let that happen.
And this is how the world feel about the prophets, about how they just talking something that will not happen. Well, according to the scriptures, it will happen. The mandatory of being implanted with the MOTB, Jacob's Trouble, World War III. You have been warned.
This week, Elon Musk is on the cover of Time as the magazine's 2021 Person of the Year. Founder and CEO of multiple companies, including SpaceX and Tesla, the world's richest man is not short on imagination, innovation, or money, worth an estimated $255 billion. According to Time, his car company Tesla controls 2/3 of the electric vehicle market.
And just for understanding and edification, Elon Musk is not the richest man on the planet. That's a lie.
Is worth $1 trillion, while his rocket company SpaceX is bigger than Boeing when it comes to space technology. And he never fails to entertain his 66.5 million followers on Twitter with information on his latest projects, from launching SpaceX rockets to finding, quote, solace on his porcelain throne. Among his many contributions, Musk is also breaking ground in neurotechnology. He co-founded Neuralink, a company that says it has already successfully implanted chips in a pig and monkeys that create a man-made link between the mind and movement. During a recent interview, Musk said his brain interface technology company hopes to start implanting its microchips in humans next year. Musk said, "We hope to have this in our first humans, which will be people that have severe spinal cord injuries." According to Neuralink's website, for now, the technology is only intended for people with spinal cord injuries, but that it can also be used to help people with a wide range of injuries and neurological disorders, and eventually have non-medical applications. Some say Musk could do more with his wealth to help people who are struggling. He recently responded to a plea from the United Nations to donate $6 billion of his dollars to help solve world hunger by tweeting, "If WFP can describe on this Twitter thread exactly how $6 billion will solve world hunger, I will sell Tesla stock right now and do it." The UN's Food Program Director replied with a summary mapping out how the money would be used, but so far Musk has not responded. Musk told Time magazine his career is, quote, Mars and cars. So what does inspire the man who inspires so many others?
I admire anyone who is making a positive contribution to humanity, whether that is in entertainment or in technology, or I think anyone who's sort of doing things that are really useful to the rest of humanity is I admire them greatly.
For RT, I'm Molly Barrows.
Thanks, Molly. Having found solace, Musk assures us that Neuralink is working well in monkeys, and we're actually doing just a lot of testing and just confirming that it is very safe and reliable and that the Neuralink device can be removed quickly. You ready for your implant? Let's ask filmmaker and futurist Ian Kahn and RT Boombus co-host and investigative journalist Ben Swan. Ian, when Rush Limbaugh lost his hearing, he got it back with cochlear implants. Is Musk's Neuralink a baby step or a giant step beyond that and other bionic devices now commonplace?
So thanks for having me, Holland. I think it's literally a giant step. Cochlear implants are something that solve the problem of the ear canal not working and the nerve, the auditory nerve not working. Whereas Neuralink completely changes that. It's an implant that potentially will go directly in your brain, activate the auditory senses in your brain and the areas that are responsible for listening and hearing, and it has nothing to do with the auditory nerve. So it's a big jump ahead of what we already know and what we're already doing. And I believe this could be one of the biggest breakthroughs in solving that healthcare challenge that many people have.
Ben, when I saw you report on that recent Amazon cloud hiccup that clobbered so much online content, you made an important point that the power of Amazon's brand as a retailer doesn't mean that their cloud, essentially a commodity, is the best cloud. They're just the best known cloud. So that's right. Do Elon Musk's other exploits similarly overqualify him when it comes to developing a brain implant?
Well, that's a really good question. My understanding, and I'll tell you that I've actually talked to people who are developing some of this technology for Neuralink, and they've explained a lot of where this comes from. They are way ahead of the curve in terms of the technology and the mission behind it. So, one of the things you have to be very suspicious of, as I am always suspicious of, is what will be the ultimate use of a product like this? What will be the ultimate use of this technology? Because in the beginning, many times this kind of technology starts off with really a benevolent idea in mind. How are we going to help people who are suffering from neurological disorders to help their brain to function in a more normal way that doesn't attack their own body? And so that starts off in a benevolent way, but many times it can become misused in many ways. So having talked to the people who are developing a lot of this technology, my belief is that they have a benevolent view of it in the beginning, and that's what they're here to do. But again, the question becomes, when you get someone like Elon Musk on board, who is himself a visionary in many ways, he's able to provide capital to make these things a reality. Now, having said that, some of the things that Elon Musk is involved in have been incredible successes. SpaceX, and the idea of a reusable rocket, something NASA was never able to do on their own, something that, quite frankly, other private space exploration has now copied. So he's led the way in that. But
And he said that Elon Musk he's a visionary. Well, that's according to the wisdom of this world, which is foolishness to Yahweh Shema Shah. The real visionaries are the prophets, the messengers of Yahweh Shema Shah. And as it tell you in Proverbs 29 and 18, where there is no vision, the people perish, right? As a matter of fact, let me read that. This is Proverbs 29 and 18. And it reads, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. And see, this is why 2/3 of so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians are wondering in the way where the dead is at, man. Let's get that. This is Proverbs 21 and 16. See, Jake is following the ways of this world, man. They trust in their government. They trust in the system. As it tell you in Isaiah chapter 30, 1 through 3, Isaiah 31, 1 through 3, Isaiah chapter 30, verse 12, It said they trust in oppression and perverseness. This is Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And this is what 2/3 of Jake is at, man. They are in the congregation of the dead. Let me get this. This is why they hate the real visionaries, the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah. But the Lord say, this is Proverbs 27:5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The messengers, the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah, is giving you the straight skinning, the facts, the truth. But they refuse the truth because they trust in oppression. Well, only the hopeful elect understand what's going on. Let's finish playing this.
At the same time, there does come a point where you become more of a brand, and therefore people assume competency as a result of your brand. I'm not sure that this is the case with this particular product, but it certainly could be the case in the future.
In a couple of weeks, I'm off to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and I will be admitted because I have downloaded the Health Pass app, which displays a QR code to verify my vaccination status. Expect no less at a tech event. Restaurants in New York City and elsewhere, though, already require some evidence of vaccination or test. And as this latest variant has states and cities reverting to protocols that had been relaxed, it is likely they too will require credentials more substantial than easy to counterfeit paper documents. Ian, could that exacerbate the digital divide that surfaced during the shutdown?
I think it absolutely is doing it. The digital divide since COVID started has been becoming bigger. There are many people who are now, part of this divide and are not. There's a challenge with digital inclusivity. Technology is not progressing at the same level across all domains, across all nations and people and denomination, and that's a challenge with us being a nation where everybody is not equal. And so for that, I think we absolutely need to address this issue and make sure everybody's included. People who don't even have a cell phone are included in this. I think this is such a big problem that it needs to be taken seriously by the private sector, by the public sector, and it's just going to get worse if we don't take care of it right now.
When Elon Musk sneezes, cryptocurrency catches a cold. So I'm thrilled to be speaking with Ian Kahn, director of the documentary Blockchain City, and Ben Swan, who follows crypto on Boom Bust. Legend has it that old Joe Kennedy sold all of his stock just before the 1929 market crash because he knew something was wrong when a shoeshine boy gave him investment advice. Back to the Future, I read that all the gold in the world is about $10 trillion worth, and Bitcoin's market cap is already $1 trillion. And in a TV commercial that debuted in the World Series, Matt Damon beckons us to join in.
With 4 simple words that have been whispered by the intrepid since the time of the Romans. Fortune favors the brave.
Ooh, I want to be brave too, but I got to ask you both, and each of you take 1 minute because I got that much time. Ben, then Ian. Crypto is a roller coaster ride. What is your advice for me and all the other shoeshine guys, all the other little guys who want in on the action? Ben, then Ian.
So obviously, not here to give investment advice, but what I would say is this. If you're interested in crypto, and you should be, what you really need to be looking at are cryptos that have a utility. What is their purpose? Why are they being created? What is the value they're bringing to the world and to the marketplace? Not just some coin that people jump on board of because they can pump it up. It's called a pump and dump scheme. You don't want to be involved in those kinds of cryptos. If you want to bring value to the ecosystem, you invest in things that bring value to the world. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies and a lot of blockchain projects that are doing that every day. They are redefining technology on a whole other level. Look for those projects that have value, not simply the one that is being pushed on TikTok or someplace.
Yeah, Bitcoin strikes me as more an idea than that token that people hold up. But Ian, is this our casino mad money? This is not the mortgage money yet, is it?
No, I think we're in still early days of the entire evolution of cryptocurrencies. I think for people, you and I included, who have no clue on what's happening and on the bigger picture, it's time to put baby steps first. Get a wallet, get a crypto wallet, put $10 into a crypto, buy any coin and do that transaction just to get over the fear of the unknown of what crypto is and how it works. After that is done, go and educate yourself and others on what cryptocurrencies mean and what a crypto investor means. And there are many, many options to do that. As Ben also said, go and figure out the best investments and so on and so forth. But take baby steps first. Get a crypto wallet, put $10. Everybody has $10. Put $10 in it, and that's your first step.
And watch it bounce. Ian Kahn, thank you for stepping into the big picture.
Man, all is going to fail, man. Everything is going to fail, man. So I'm going to get a few precepts. So, this is Revelation 13. I'm going to start at verse. I'm going to start at verse 11. It's Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, which is the Flavian and Patricians, the Democrats and the Republicans. And he spake as a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, which was the Roman Empire, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, which was the Roman Empire. North America came back as a revised Roman Empire. That's what it means when they say, whose deadly wound was healed. Verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And this fire that came down on earth was from Esau Edom, when they one of the examples of them bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Another example is when they bombed Yugoslavia. It said NATO bombed Yugoslavia. You can look that up. NATO bombed Yugoslavia, and then it said NATO also bombed Bosnia. You can look that up. They bombed Yugoslavia, they bombed Bosnia, and they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You can look this up. So this is what they're talking about when they say, and do great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. And they also bombed Black Wall Street. Verse 14, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. What means of those miracles? What Elon Musk is trying to prove with giving the brain chip, the brain implant to paraplegics, to quadriplegics, to ones that have dementia and other type of ailments. He said he can heal with the brain implant. So, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound, but they swore and did live. And the image of this beast is Babylon the Great, man, the revised Roman Empire. Everything that went on from the Greek Empire to the Roman Empire is here in North America, Babylon the Great, man. It say, and called, it said, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that understand count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. Now I say this is the number of a man. Let me get this, and I'm going back to that. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It reads, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So, as I tell you about Lucifer, he's a man. Just like it said in 2 Thessalonians, just like it just said in Revelation 13. This is a man. This is Isaiah 14 in verse Isaiah 14 and verse 16. It reads, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, and saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? How did this man make the earth to tremble? By dropping bombs on Yugoslavia, on Bosnia, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, on Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is how he made the earth to tremble. Also, I mentioned when Alexander the Greek, with his vast military, man, okay? You tell you when they walked to go battle to war, the ground trembled, man. Now, let's go back to Revelation. Because this is dealing with a man. This Revelation 13 and 16, dealing with this word Mark, which the Star of the Apostles' Great Millstone go over time and time again. Because as Apostle Gabar say, repetition is the father's skill. And you have been warned. Yahweh shall say in John 15 and 22, if he had not come, they had not sinned. But now they have no cloak for their sin. That word Mark, Revelation 13, is G5480.
Strong's G5480. Charagba.
This is a stamp and imprint mark of the mark stamp on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist, which we know as many Antichrists. Say that in 1 John 2 and 19. So the badge of the followers of the who? The rulers of this world, man. It said the mark branded upon horses, thin carved sculpture, graven works of idolatrous images. It's a mark graven. Now when you go to, it says as a badge of servitude, which it is, because these devils know, and when you read it in the law, when a man doesn't want to leave his master, right? He's supposed to take him and bore his ear through with an awl that he may serve him forever. Now this is the this is G5482 Karax.
Strong's G5482. Charax.
It's a to sharpen to a point, akin to, it's a through the idea of scratching. It's a pale or stake, a palisade, which is what they use to put the MOTB in your hand. Okay? It's a palisade or rampart, pales between which earth, stone, trees, which is stake. It's a pale or stake, a palisade, right? It's a stake, a palisade. It's a trench in a siege. Palisade, scratching, a stake, right? Now when you go back, palisade meaning something that to pierce your skin with. So let's go back to this. Now this is Revelations 13 and 18. We're going to get the word 666, right?
Strong's G5516. Chi, Xi, Stigma. Chi, Xi, Stigma.
Now let's say the word 600, 6. It said the meaning of which is the basis of much vain supplication, right? Now when you click on this word G4742, that's what it say, stigma.
Strong's G 4742. Stigma. Stigma.
It say a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. You see, the God of this world have blinded the minds of them that believe not. Right? Strong definition say, to stick, i.e. prick, a mark, incised, or punched for recognition of ownership, scar, service, mark. Now it say, if you remember, it just said a mark. It's a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their masters or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. Let's get the precept to that, because it's a reason why I mentioned that. This is Exodus 21, and it reads, Exodus 21:5. It say, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. See, these devils know about this, man. They know this is law, man. Right? Let's get this. This is Isaiah 36:6, and it reads, Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him. Let's look at this word pierce right here. It's the same, it go into the same understanding, man. Let's look at it. Let's look it up. Pierce.
Strong's H 5344. Nakav.
It said to pierce, bore, or point. To pierce, bore, to prick of, designate, to be pricked of, be designated, be specified, to be specified. You see? To curse, blaspheme, because that's what you're doing. If you take it, you cursing and blaspheming Yahweh Shema Shah. It say, bore, name, pierce, appoint, holes, pierce through, strike through. You see? It's the same thing that when you go into charagma, to the karoks, when you go into the stigma, man, to be incised, incision with a gash, man, with a hole, right? Let's get to one in 2 Timothy and 1 Timothy 1. It's been a minute since I went through these precepts. This 1 Timothy 6:10. It reads, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Because this is what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to how you're going to get your money once they make everything digital, man. And once they make the MOTB mandatory, how you going to get your money? Because this is what it's boiling down to, man. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. And one of those sorrows is being pierced through with the MOTB, man. Let's look at this word pierce in 1 Timothy 6. It go back to the same pierce in Isaiah 36:6. Let's look it up. Right here.
Strong's G 4044. Peripyro.
It say to pierce through, to torture one's soul with sorrows, which is a sorrow if you take the MOTB. It say to penetrate entirely. You see? Pierce through, to penetrate entirely. Let's get the one in Leviticus. This is Leviticus 19:28. You jakes out there think this is a game, man. All you guys that want to bring this to the forefront, man. You're straddling the fence. Well, you're going to cause people to fall in ditches, man, in holes, man. Following behind you. And it's being made clear, man, what the MOTB is, man. Now, this is Leviticus 19:28. You should not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord Yahweh. Let's look at this word. Marks, right?
Strong's H 7085. Ka.
You say qua. Incision, imprintment, tattoo mark. It's a from the same 86970, an incision or gash mark. You see that? So if you can't get this, man, it's not for you to understand, man. But it's plain. This is talking about being stuck through, man. With what? With the MOTB, man. With a stake. By a stake, a palisade, man. Hey, so Lord willing is edifying. Lord willing is edifying. As a matter of fact, let's read this again. Because you Jakes, you trust in oppression, man. You trust in the government, which is what? Government means control, mind control, man. This is Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him, right? When you go to Isaiah 30, let's read this. This is Isaiah 31. Now let's read Isaiah 30 first. Isaiah 30:1. It reads, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So the Lord said, you trusting in these devils, you trusting in your government, it's a sin, man. It's a, verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked in my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Right? It's Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. So you're looking at Babylon the Great military power, and thinking they are the number one people on the planet, man. Well, they used to be. Well, the Lord is about to bring them down, man. It say, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. And you think this is the best government on the planet Earth. It's not, man. There's other governments where healthcare is free, man. These people over here fighting over this devil lied about giving people's student loans, man. How they use the world is destroyed just through student loans alone, man. Jake get out of college and can't even find a job, man, in the field. When they got their bachelor or their associate or their masters or whatever degree they got, man. It's a now the Egyptians, it's a yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, which are you Israelites, and against the help of them that work iniquity. See, they ain't helping you for your good. They deceiving you, man. They deceiving you through conditioning and gradualism, man. They deceiving you, Jake. It say, now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit. When the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. This is what the Lord says is going to happen, man. And it will happen, man. All you Jakes that trust in this system, man, you're going to be destroyed, man, because it's an iniquity for you, man. These devils is not helping you to help you. They helping you to deceive you, man, to make you think they are for your good, man. It tell you in Wisdom of Solomon 2, they know that we are not for their turn, man. So they said, what come and let us oppress the poor righteous? Because they know. This is Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So every last one of you Jakes, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians that trust in these devils, you're going to be destroyed with them, man. Thus saith Yahweh Shema Shah. You're going to be destroyed with these devils, man. They are not for your turn, man. You tell you in Proverbs 4 and 16, they sleep not lest they cause some to fall. That's their whole being, man. They are carnal-minded and they're trying to make you fall because they know that you are the royal seed line of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, of King David, and they're trying to make you fall, man. So to be deceived, to take this brain implant, the Lord said what in Job 12 and 16? The deceived and the deceiver are his, man. Be not deceived, be not marked. Hey, be not deceived, for Yahweh Shema Shah is not marked. Salakia. Let's read that. This is Galatians 6 and 7. And it reads, be not deceived. Power, Yahweh Shema Shah, is not marked. For whatsoever a man soweth, there shall he also reap. If you take this, you're going to be destroyed, man. As it tell you that in Revelation 14 and 9. It tell you that in Revelation 16 and 3. You will be destroyed, man, by Yahweh Shema Shah. The Lord was edifying. Got to give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Ruach Kodash. The honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all Israel, whether concepted or not. Hey, the wife for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Shalom. Till next time, I say, wah, a bar,